Conversate for a few.
Welcome to the next episode of Conversate for a Few. I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely is not. This is a podcast about hip hop. What we doing today, bruh?
Talking the difference between a good song and a hit song. And that's a subtle, but not so subtle nuance.
Facts.
A musical nuance.
Facts. Oh, man. Oh. So, the funny thing is the hit is, okay, that's what I want to ask you. I think I want to start there. I want to just ask you a question first. Which one do you think is more elusive? The hit song or the good song?
Instinctively, I would say a hit song.
Okay. So instinctively, you feel like a hit song is harder to get to than a good song.
Absolutely, but in actual execution, the hit may be easier because the good song requires. I think a hit song doesn't require all the ingredients necessary for it to be a good song, and that relieves my question I was originally going to ask you.
Okay.
Is about that, the good song and the hit song. Like, does the hit song actually have to be a good song? Like, cause every good song, good song can be a hit song, but a hit song doesn't necessarily have to be a good song.
I don't think a hit is dependent on whether the song is good or not. Right? I think there are variables that go into creating a hit, right? And I think a lot of those variables are outside of the song making process.
That's interesting. Okay.
You see what I mean? Like there's the promotions, I think sometimes a hit is created because people decide this is going to be the hit and this is the song that we push through.
Okay, so if I'm understanding you right, are you saying you think then it becomes a hit because of it's getting repetitive play and basically like just pushed on the people?
I think that's part of what companies do. Yeah.
Okay.
I think radio programming is part of what companies do to create a hit. You know what I mean?
Right, absolutely.
I think when people are talking about making a good song, right? I think their intentions are coming. I think it's coming from a different place. I think when people are talking about making a hit song, it's coming from somewhere completely different. So I think that's why it changes the variables.
Okay.
Now you in both situations you do have to go into the studio and make music. You see what I mean? Yeah. So I get that, but I think the intention changes all of that. Can you have both a good song and a hit song? Yeah, but I think it's,
But that's not always the case. A lot of times that isn't the case, that the hit song is a good song. Now, I will say that I definitely agree with the radio pushing it through the radio program and making it a hit is one of the plans of the label. But also, like, you and I can hear a song, I feel like, and be like, oh, that's a hit. You just know. And like, you just know, like, this will catch on. This will go. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain stuff you hear and you know.
Yeah, I do. And when we get to that situation, bro, I really feel like that's where you get the nirvana of a good song and a hit song. You see what I'm saying? I think that's where that happens. You know, right. The first time I heard the beat to 50 Cent in the club, it wasn't even no lyrics on it. I heard the instrumental on a random I guess it was a mixtape at the time that my man had, and I was like, yo, what is that? And he was like, I don't know, yo, it's just a joint. Matter of fact, he did the mixtape. He was like, I don't know, it's just a joint I downloaded offline, man. I liked it, so I put it on there. Just the instrumental. And I was I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, it's a hit.
Yeah.
Months later, we hit In the Club.
Gotcha.
This is in the LimeWire days, so we was
LimeWire.
Yeah, he was plucking shit out the air. He happened to get a banger. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And
So now, okay.
go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, so that's interesting because now it kind of leads us into what do we feel like makes a hit, and I think the you've already talked about the basic landscape of a hit. Number one, you have to find the right beat.
Okay, so let's talk about it two different ways then. If we're gonna talk about what makes a hit, because I think when you asked me the question, I automatically jumped into the business music side and didn't really speak to the, you know what I'm saying? I jumped all the way to the music. I jumped all the way left. So so if we're gonna have that conversation, like what makes a hit versus what makes a good song, let's kind of. I apologize. Let's discard me jumping to the business side, and we talking in the studio. What makes a hit? Versus what makes a
yeah.
Well, oh man.
Because hold on, let me give this.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna give let me preface it with this before we move in, right? So the reason why I'm asking, because there have been scenarios where people make hits unintentionally.
Right.
Like, so I'm thinking about, like, we know the history of the Benjamins.
Right.
They didn't know, like, the people on it didn't even really like the beat.
Okay. See, this is what we talk about here.
A few of them. Well, go ahead. All right.
Okay, you bring a good point up.
Meaning, like, it's a difference if me and you be like, yo, let's link up to They Go Studio. We're going to try to make a hit.
Right.
As opposed to we just trying to make music and then the hit happens.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. When you're trying to make a hit, generally what happens is you're trying to make something that you've already heard before. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if your goal is to make a hit, there's something inherently in you that's copying something that's been a hit.
Right. Right. For you to know what a hit sounds like.
For you to
so
know
you have to be trying to make something that already exists.
You're aiming at something.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You're not just aiming at the goal. You are aiming at the goal, but there's a tangible way to get to that goal, and you've heard thousands of them. So if you go into the studio with that thought in your mind that we're gonna make a hit, then you're going in there not 100% being yourself, right? Yeah. And I've done that several times.
Yeah.
We've all done it. You know what I'm saying? If you make music, then you've gone in the studio thinking I'm gonna make a. Sometimes you think I'm gonna make a banger, and then sometimes you think I'm gonna make a. This will be a hit. You know what I mean? I will tell you the truth though. When I say I've done it several times, maybe I have to backtrack because most times I sat down to make a banger, and when I was finished, I realized it had the potential to be a hit.
Yeah. Okay. Now, that's interesting.
That's what happened the majority of the times that I made something that I felt like could be a hit. I didn't sit down thinking, yo, I'm gonna make a hit today. You know what I mean? I don't really feel like I have to actually take that statement back that I said I did that several times. I did not do that several times.
Okay. But you said something I think that was very important. You said generally if you're going in there with the intentions to try to make a hit, then you're basically pattern behind something that you've heard before.
For sure.
And it people do that all the time. Artists are doing that all the time.
Yeah.
Now, and two things I've seen come out of it. That's why one, I think we're getting so many what we talked about copies of artists. Sounding the same, you know what I mean? But also you have to adopt what you feel is closest to you. Like if I'm gonna try to make a hit, I gotta figure out, okay, which artist had hits that is closest to what I could do. Yeah. In my lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you picking tempo, you see what I'm saying? You picking a lot of things that are very, very, you know, you're filling your arsenal with. I mean, shit, if you I hate to bring the business side into it, but if you think about making a hit and the song that you make ain't in the tempo of the songs on the radio, the chances of you actually having a hit are slim to none because it's not going to get programmed. You know? Right. You know, so it's like, well, those in the days when radio, quote unquote, dictated what a hit song was. It does so a lot less now. But yeah, that wanting to, that desire to have a hit and sell a whole bunch of records, it does, I think, tarnish the art some. So you get you get more copycats. You get, and we saw it in our era, and you see it a lot more now. And I think you see it a lot more now. And I don't think you see it a lot more now because it's less artistry. I think you see it a lot more now because there's a lot more business going on.
Yeah, a lot more business, and I think a lot more avenues are just open for people to make music.
Right.
So you got some, you know what I mean?
Right.
So everybody that can or have an idea or have a feeling to make something, they can do it.
Right.
And everything's at their disposal in a click.
And if you gonna have that, then once you have people with access to putting the music in the world, you get a whole lot more people putting it in the world before it's ready. Because we all started out emulating. You know what I mean? But hopefully we emulated long enough to find ourselves, and then we found our way to the world. You know. But nowadays we got the opportunity to make music, and as soon as we have music completed, even though it's just like Playboy Cardi, you know what I mean? We can put that out and it won't matter. It's not that it won't matter, but we're not waiting to find ourselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think that's why we get so much more copycat music. Now I think it's two reasons. The business is taking a lot more hold of it, and the artist, being the public, has access to put music out a lot faster than they did before. So you getting you know. But do you think that makes it harder for a hit or easier for a hit?
Man, I swear it's a paradox. Both. Because it makes it harder because maybe the market is oversaturated with the same sound and stuff. But the thing is, you get more chances at a bat. You get more chances at bat to get a hit.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like label put a little money behind you, do a video. If it doesn't go, you might not get another shot. They may not back you again.
Right. And nowadays, you could drop a record Tuesday, and if it don't work, you can drop another one next Tuesday.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Let it roll. So, alright. Is it harder to make a good song now?
Oh yeah. So making a good song is way harder than making a hit because number one, because making a good song, and we're gonna go over the recipe of a good song, right? And then the recipe of a hit. See, a recipe of a good song is straight across the board. I don't really have needed to hear a good song before I knew how to make a good song, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because there's basic tenets of making a good song. But I needed to hear a hit.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I understand it. Now, so I'm gonna break that down because it may be a little nuance for people in the way I heard it. Right?
Yeah.
You said you don't need to have heard a good song to make a good song, right?
Right.
But to make a hit, you probably needed to have made one. To intentionally make a hit, you need to have made one. Have heard one.
Have heard
one.
Before.
To intentionally make one, you need to have heard one. To intentionally make a good song, you don't need to have heard one. All you need is the intent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the ability and the tools.
And the tools.
I totally agree. I totally agree. That's dope. I like that. I like that. That was a good. That's a good. Like that's a definitive line. You know what I mean? Like. It is right along that intent line that we was talking about before, but the need though to have heard a good song don't exist. Matter of fact, I was listening to Sound Opinions on NPR, and they were talking about Joni Mitchell's career.
Okay.
And they played, I think it may be even a song called, I think I'm gonna get it wrong, right? But I think the song may be called Blue. But it got released, and it was actually the first song she ever wrote and recorded.
Ooh.
Amazing song. Like, amazing song. First time at bat, she had it. She got it. You know what I mean? But I bet you her intent wasn't to make no hit.
I don't think any artist very first time recording a song was trying to make you a hit. You just
Ooh.
wanted to get
Yeah.
your expression out there, hear your music. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just thinking about my first time recording. It wasn't about a hit. It was just, yo, I love the music. It's people
Yeah.
making good music. I want to make some good music.
Yeah, I want to be able to do that. I
Right.
want to be one of the people that's able to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I want to be able to do it better than everybody anybody I could get close to.
Yeah. And I will say this, because I thought about this whole needing to hear a hit to make a hit as opposed to not needing to hear good music to make good music.
Right.
I do feel like if people intentions are to make good music, we would get more hits. That's another irony. If people intentions was to just make good music and follow the tenets like of good music, all right, I want to make sure my sonic sound good. I want to make sure that the beat and this, that, everything is arranged right. I think we would actually get more hits.
Well,
Other
yeah.
than people just chasing a hit. If they just focus on making good music, we would just by default, I think, get more hits.
I think so, because the music that's more pure, I think, touches people differently. And I think it touches more people en masse if you give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
But there's tons of reasons why we won't get that.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that
There's
ain't
more
what
than too many to count.
That exactly. That ain't what this episode is for either. So we ain't even gonna do that. We'll do that on another one.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is we always say, well, it don't matter because
I already know what you're gonna say.
I was gonna say we always say on episodes that we're gonna do something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't remember what it is that we was gonna do. Right?
That's a fact. Yeah,
And I was about to say, well, now we got it on video, so it ain't no excuse. But what difference would it make if we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still didn't remember. It was on audio.
Right.
We still had it recorded. It didn't change nothing then, so. And this is a sidebar for the people, man. If y'all have as many conversations as we do about hip-hop, then we had a conversation so that y'all get to enjoy them. We don't get to listen to all of them. Right? So we might say something to each other on a podcast and not remember it. So it's up to y'all to help us. You know what I mean? Like we it ain't up to y'all.
That's true.
Maybe I shouldn't say it's up to y'all. Maybe I should say we're asking that y'all help us remember what it is that we said we was going to talk about in the future, because we don't get a chance to go back. You know, and I feel like I'm speaking for Alan, you know, as well as myself in saying that.
Yeah.
That was just a little sidebar.
Yeah, that needed to be said.
I felt like it did.
Yeah.
I felt like it did. Alright, so you trying to get to these tenets of a good song?
Yeah. Let's
Alright.
So alright. Yeah, let's move from good song to hit.
Okay.
Hit song.
Okay.
Alright. So a good song, and I feel like I know the first thing you'll say. And I think you know the first thing I'm going to say, so I'll go ahead and say it. I think it's going to be a good, lyrically, good, well-composed song.
Facts. And what... Okay. What are some of the... Go ahead.
And when I say lyrically, I mean this song has substance. It's about something, right? The concept is good. Like the song is getting over a message. Like every song, even if the people just making songs about nothing, it's still sending a message.
That's a fact.
To people. So, but I mean, it's got a solid message. Like, it's coherent. Like, it's some thought put into it. It's some, you know, just not empty.
Right. There may have been a story told. There may have been it's got a beginning, middle, and end. It's got
right, and
arc.
You can see it clearly.
Yeah.
It's clearly defined. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I think that's important. You know, I might surprise you with this one, bro. Now, I think that may be more important than a good beat for a good song.
Yeah.
For a good song, because a good song doesn't need music.
That's true.
A good song could be a acapella. A good song is lift every voice and sing with, you know what I mean, just somebody standing in the middle of a field singing it. You see what I'm saying? No drums, no nothing. So I think that may be the most important part of a good song. Is a strong lyrical foundation, bro. So yeah. I think now to jump forward, I think it might be
swap for a hit. Absolutely.
Swap for a hit, right? But yeah, I think and not to say these people got to be Nas. That's not what we saying. You know
That's
what
I'm saying. Fuck that. No, I'm joking. Nah.
Yeah. But
you don't have to be that.
Yeah, you ain't gotta be Nas, but you can, but you gotta be able to put it together.
Yeah.
In a way, in such a way that it hold on 1 second, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be able to put it together in such a way that it brings the story to light. Like it's a meaningful content in there. It ain't gotta be sad. It ain't gotta be angry. But it's gotta be something there for people to hold on to.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the lyric though, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
If the lyric is the most important thing, then I almost have to say that the delivery is the second most important thing. And
oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know whether that's going to be how it's sang, what cadence you use, what flow you use. You see what I mean? Like, but I think that's, and the reason I say that, and I'll tell you why I say it, because I think that for me, the first thing I hear is the beat.
Yeah.
The second thing I hear is how the person is saying what they're saying. The third thing I hear is what they're saying. So in my hierarchy, lyrics are the third most important. Like lyrical content is the third most important thing. For a good song, I think if lyrics are the first thing, maybe it switches by order. It goes 3, 2, 1 instead of 1, 2, 3. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So I definitely think for good songs, I should make this point that I think how you saying it is more important than what you saying, because that's the part of being good at it. Like if you could be saying, and I've heard people, you could be saying some good stuff, but if your flow is bad, I just can't listen to it.
Okay, so we might be switching the hierarchy then. So you might be saying that delivery is more important than the lyrical content.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm talking about a good song.
A good song.
Because you can have all of the other boxes checked, but if the person, the way they flowing is delivering, you'd be like, man, this shit is horrendous. I can't listen to this.
That's a fact.
And I've heard that many times. Like they saying you saying some good stuff. I like what you're saying, but the way you're saying it,
that's the worst.
I cannot digest it.
That's the worst, bro. When you got somebody that's fire lyrically and their delivery is ass, that's the worst, bro. That's the hugest waste of talent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you want to take those words and give them to someone that knows how to deliver. It's
because they're called ghostwriters.
Right.
Yeah, we do it. They do it. We don't do it, but they do it. It happens. But that's exactly what happens. You get a ghostwriter. But so delivery, then lyrical content. Cause I agree. I'm not hearing what you say if you're not saying it fire.
Right.
If you're not singing it and you sound like a bird, then I don't give a damn what your lyrics are. So
and some people may be like, and some people may critique us on this, like, yo, the lyrics is more important. But no, this is a lesson in nuance, because in musical nuance, no, I'll worry about what you're saying, but say it the right way.
Yeah, if it ain't
it's
said
got to
the
be
right
palatable to the ear to receive it.
Right.
And that's like, and to be honest, like that's like anything in life. Like if you don't come at a person, how many fights was because the person ain't delivered? You know what I mean? What they were saying the right way.
Fact.
You know what I mean? In a nice way, you could call it constructive criticism if you're critiquing someone. But like, it's all about how you deliver it. If you don't deliver it right, the person ain't gonna receive it right.
That's a fact.
And, you know what I mean? And it happens in music a lot.
It happens in music a lot, very, very often. Go ahead.
No, delivery is nice, but I'm saying that about constructive criticism. Somebody could basically tell you that your song is trash, but they delivered it and they delivered their critique in such a way because they knew how to use words. Is that you actually accepted it?
But yeah, and that's what you're supposed to be going there for anyway. It's
Right.
constructive criticism, but most people just be going for the love. And
Right.
And when they get any type of criticism, is it sinks their little boat.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, so yeah, delivery, lyrical content is a must. And the funny thing is we saying this, and it may sound like what we saying. It may sound like it's common sense. You see what I mean? It may sound like what we saying is like, duh. Of course you need delivery. Of course you need content. Of course you need a dope beat. But if people thought, like, how many songs are ass?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if this was common sense ain't common.
Yeah.
People need these conversations.
Yeah.
You
Go
know,
ahead.
these are the types of conversations that we kind of had with each other while we was in the process of making music back in the day. These
Right.
conversations was inherent. We didn't allow people to come in our presence being ass.
Right.
We would check you quick, or
Facts.
you just wasn't allowed around. So you see what I'm saying? So it wasn't like
That's a fact.
so all this politically correct.
Yeah. Man.
You know, like I think we're at a point where it needs to be said again. And I'm not talking about because the youth ain't doing hot music. I'm talking about because it's some 45-year-olds that's getting equipment and this is their first song in his ass. And because they can put it out, they doing it. So this has
Right.
nothing to do with your age. I'm just talking about your the ability to do so and how it's affecting the quality of music that's getting to my ears.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Yeah. Getting. Yeah.
so
Personalize that.
personalize this, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm putting this out here so that everybody out there that's doing music, if you in earshot, these are how you make good songs.
Right. And the conversation is needed because we have to it has to be a good contrast made between a good song and a hit song.
That's true. That's true.
So the conversation is because you would think, but I think sometimes we give en masse a higher level of musical IQ than they may actually have.
Facts.
Because I've gotten arguments like with people because everyone think a hit song is a good song and that's just not true.
Yeah. Everybody liked it. It's got to be good. No, dog.
Right?
What
No,
is you talking
no.
about?
It just had the right elements to grab your attention and make you feel away at that time
Right.
and moment.
Right. And it may have had the same exact elements as the last song that made you
Right.
feel that way at that time.
Mhm.
That don't make
Exactly.
it good. They just make it just like the last one.
hmm You know, some hits. Oh man, this is funny. Some songs are hits, but they're such a hit that people get tired of it. One, yeah, because of the musical programming, but even it's. I don't know because this takes me like to something. I don't want to be philosophical, but like it's some shit that's just too good. You get it too damn perfect.
Yeah.
It's executed so perfect that like, man, damn. I'm gonna give you an example.
Uh-huh.
Happy. I guarantee you, right now, nobody wants to hear happy.
Yo.
Nobody wants to hear that because it was too perfect.
Yo, you were in my head. That is the song I was gonna use as my example. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Because I was thinking,
we back into
yeah,
it,
we
man.
back into it. Yeah, we back into it. That's what I'm talking about. And on that note, I'll pour a glass of wine. I've been drinking water. It's wine time.
You had to wait for the right moment.
Wait for the right moment, sir. This wine time. Yes, sir. That was it.
Yeah, happy, and that's like the best example.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, that's what just came to my mind.
Yeah,
You know what
because
I mean?
it's
Like,
the perfect example.
it's a perfect example.
Yep. And Pharrell is very, very good. He's a producer that's good at making the perfect song.
Right now, let me say this. So, if like say Pharrell's listening to this and he may not understand what his musical
But I
IQ
think
was
he
high
get-
enough to understand,
yeah, he get
but
it.
I want him to understand this critique of him that I'm saying. On the other end, because he makes perfect hits and perfect good songs. On the other end, we get from Pharrell and a J Collab, Allure,
Allure. Mhm.
which is a song that I can literally listen to and never get tired of
Right.
and zone out.
Yeah.
One of my favorite J songs, favorite productions by Pharrell.
Yeah.
It's a perfect good song.
That might be, those two songs may be the perfect example of the good song and the
Yes.
hit
Absolutely. Yeah. I
from
think
one
so.
person. You know, we may should do a like a playlist for producers, good
We
song
will do
versus
that.
hit song. You see what I'm saying? Like the perfect
Yeah.
good song, the perfect hit song from people. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that'd be fun too. That'd be
Yeah.
fun too. Might even go on live and do it or something. Like have people
Yeah,
just
well-
had a conversation and be like, "Yo, what's a good song for such and such? Your perfect hit song for such and such." I don't know.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. We'll do it, and I'm gonna already tell you with the first two, from artists. The first two will be Happy. It'll be Allure. Then it'll be In the Club, and then it'll be Many Men.
And after you said In the Club, Many Men was the one that jumped in my head. Cause it's like, it's so perfect.
Yeah,
It's so perfect, yo.
so perfect.
It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
Mhm.
Many Men to me is the staple of that album.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's the staple of that album. Yeah, Many Men, and we might just need to do quick one or two of these. Like, God knows.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what would Tribes be?
Ooh. Electric Relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
And God, what am I thinking? Maybe Scenario.
See, I was both those songs jumped in my head, but to me, both of those are hits.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So maybe I'm thinking Lyrics to Go
Lyrics to Go. Not Lyrics to Go.
and
That's
Electric
Ele-
Relaxation.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like, but
Yeah.
almost
And
all Tribe
I
songs
feel
can go in the good song category though.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. Even their hit songs are good songs. When we
Right.
talk about Tribes,
Right,
because they're just great. Like, so even their hits going to be good songs.
right. All right. So we get back to the list of things that make a
Yeah.
good song, because that was a long sidebar.
Yeah.
I hope y'all was able to hang in there with us. You know what I mean? But hey, if they've been hanging in there with us this long, bro, being on
Yeah,
video
it's
should make
good.
it easier.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so
way easier.
I hope we gonna see, but we gonna see. The beat, bro. Back to the list. The actual music.
Mm-hmm. You.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This is music. The music is so important for a good song and even a hit song. Even though we're not on hit, we're on a good song.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so important in both scenarios because the music is generally what you hear in the beginning and what you hear in the end.
Right.
It's the
Right.
it's the only one of those ingredients that is from start to finish usually.
Most times.
Most times.
Yeah, most times.
Most times. Yeah.
Um.
And that's just to highlight the importance of it and the significance of the music.
Right, and I think the music is, for a good song, it's you know what, man? I think we said it before, but I think I'm gonna go back and put something at the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? Before delivery, before, you know, and I'm gonna say it again. But your intention when you sit down to write that song.
Yeah.
Your intention when you sit down to make that beat. You know what I mean? Your intention when you know what I'm saying? Like that, I think is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because the beat may have came from such and such. The lyric may came from you specifically, the artist. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Right.
all these things, but what you wanted to do, I think is the deciding factor, is the most important thing in a good song.
Yeah.
Like your integrity. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, right.
if you have high musical integrity, the chances of you making a good song are a lot higher.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
The person that's willing to take any shorts on any of the other things that we previously mentioned, they're
Right.
probably not gonna come out with a good song.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so intention, delivery,
Mm-hmm.
content, lyrical content, and then the musical bed that you choose.
Yeah.
So, I'm just as a devil's advocate. If delivery is more important than the way a person is more important than what a person actually says, then the beat being the vehicle also, is that not more important than what they're saying? Because we're not gonna get to it. A lot of people ain't gonna get to it. Well, now I think I contradicted myself, because I said you can have a good song standing in the field without music.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying. And let me say this. I would say kind of yes. Because listen, we're looking at a movie. Like, let's put it like this: like every song is the movie, so the actions, let's say, are the words, right?
Okay.
in motion, the action. You know what I mean? The score of the movie while the action is going on is the music.
Okay, I'm with
Like,
you.
if like I'm telling you,
You
like,
on
if the
fire
music
today,
is
nigga.
bad. Oh yeah, I'm in my bag.
You in your bag today.
I'm back in my podcast hip hop bag.
30 footers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, if the music is bad, it totally shuts me down. Like nobody, like think about it. You can be the nicest with the illest flow, the illest delivery, illest concept, and then people be like, yo, because that beat is like, if the beat is not good, it's just like an annoying, you know what I mean?
What's the name of that
gnat
joint?
or fly going around you.
What's the name of that joint on Jay Electronica album? Jay Electronica's album. Is that It ain't Ezekiel's Will. It's one that's up there that's just like, the beat is just like, what in the hell is happening here?
Yeah.
We could have had
I forgot
y'all
the
had
name of that.
I'm about to tell you, because I got it.
Yeah, I know, but I know which one you're talking about. It's the one with Jay come on first to my Uptown posse, to my
That's the song.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
already.
that's the song. That shit is terrible.
And what's bad about that, if it was done the right way, it could have been a good beat.
The song, exactly. The beat is good. They just messed it up. They did too much.
Mm-hmm.
They did too much. That was the other thing I was gonna say. You have to allow space for the artist. That's a good song. The song ain't about the beat. The song ain't about the, you know what I'm saying, the producer. The song ain't about the arrangement. The song is about what the artist is bringing to the table. So if the beat ain't completing, you know, this is going. I know you don't do a lot of R&B music, right? But to me, Brandy is a GOAT. You know what I mean?
That's agreed.
Right, Brandy is a GOAT.
For sure.
But she didn't get the burn that she was supposed to have because she had the wrong producer for the majority of her career. Rodney Jerkins didn't leave no space for Brandy. He overproduced Brandy the entire time.
Oh yeah. And when you say overproduced, just for the Futane Clan and the listeners, what do you mean? I understand exactly what you're saying.
Okay, there's when you hear a Brandy song, the music is just as important as she is, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, he should have dialed the music back and made her and made the music be a pedestal for her. But it's like they were both on the same pedestal, sitting side by side. You just couldn't. And the way her vocals were arranged with less music, you can understand that her arrangement is crazy. But with all this music going on, you can't even. Her arrangements sound like music.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it was just so overproduced that he should have dialed it back and let her shine more. Less instruments. only drums on some joints because it's all her. Like Beyonce right now. If you listen to Single Ladies, ain't no music on that song. It's just her.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just her.
That's a good example. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They pull it all the way back and let it just be her.
Mm-hmm.
Rhythmically, arrangement, it's all her. That's what Brandy needed.
Right.
So when I said all that to say, sometimes the music has to get out of the way. So you need to make space for the artist. A good song has space for the artist to do what they're supposed to do. A good song, the music is a pedestal for the message, for the content, for the delivery.
Right. Right. And it's funny. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And as an artist, artists need to know, or should, I'll say that, they should know when a song, when a beat isn't for them. Many times I came through your place, like majority of the tracks I listen to, I like and I could do something with. But I've heard beats from you. I've heard beats from other people that I was like, that's too much for me. That beat is gonna overpower what I want to do.
Right.
I
feel
knew
you. I get that.
It would be too much.
Right.
You know
and
what I'm saying?
it is the artist's responsibility to know that too. You're right. You're right. It's the artist's responsibility to know it, or listen to a producer that's gonna tell them right from wrong. You know what I mean? And it's the producer's if it's right for that artist to let them have it, not just not hold it. You know what I mean? Like that's if it's right for him, like let it go. It's okay. You know what I mean? It took me a long time. I guess I'm just learning that. I didn't learn that because I would, you know what I mean? I would hold certain stuff for sale.
Now I will say this. So we talked about the importance of the beat. Yeah. How the importance of the beat, or how important is the beat to a good song. And now there's really only one person, maybe two, that they were so nice and for a person to listen to your song, if the beat isn't that good, you have to be super nice at what you're saying. Your delivery has to be super. It was many times, as we know, Nas isn't the best beat picker. But I mean, there's been stuff that I wouldn't, and I'm talking about like early Nas, he rapped on certain stuff that you didn't like the beat, but the way he was killing it made it listenable.
Right.
Like I could listen to it, even though it wasn't the greatest produced. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's just true. But that just speaks to the power.
But that's right. The power of lyrical ability.
Exactly. Lyrical ability and delivery.
Now the other, and that's an anomaly because most people can't do that, and most people aren't going to be good enough to do that.
Right.
But he's like semi-exception to the rule.
Yeah, semi. That's a good way to put it too, because he can't do it but so often. After a while, you like, all right, bro. We still gonna call this album whack.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like you are you, and we're gonna listen to you rap. But after a while, we need some fire.
Right.
You know, we don't even need a hit from you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We just want good songs.
Yep. We just want good songs. So that's it. We don't need it. That's dope. That's a dope thing. We just stumbled on something there. Like we, the public, don't need the hit.
Yeah, the hit is really for the artist, not for us.
The hit is for the business.
Well, yeah, for the artist, but that's what I'm saying, because the artist, the artist is looking at. Well, let me say this: the artist is chasing the hit is gassed by the business music. So they, you know what I mean? They telling him, you get this hit, then you'll make all this money. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So yeah. So the hit is really for the business, the label, the execs, the fans that love good music.
Yep.
Don't really care about the hit. You know what I'm saying?
We'll dictate the hit. We'll find the hit. We'll make the hit.
Yeah, we'll tell you which is the standout.
We'll tell you what the hit is. You don't have to make us one. You make us a bunch of good music. We'll tell you where your hits are.
Yeah. You give me 13 good songs done with integrity on all levels.
Right.
And I can tell you which one of those is the standout hit.
And sometimes you might have 13.
Yeah, you might miss her. Yeah,
you
you
just
might
gotta-
have 13 golden eggs.
You got an album I just gotta listen to on repeat. That's a hit, but it's integrity. That's the thing.
Right.
That's what we can get back to. I think we can get back to that. You just have you have to be patient and let people find the music. So that means you have to have a job that you can actually live on. You see what I'm saying? Like you know, if you're an indie musician, you either have to have a job that you can live on, or be getting money from sources that are investing in you. You see what I'm saying? But you have to be able to be patient enough to let people find the music, and confident enough to keep putting it out, so when they do find it, it's enough there for them to binge on you.
Right.
You know? Build your catalog, own your catalog, monetize your catalog. That was the tweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, for everybody out there making good songs, just we trying to tell you what you know what I mean, what we want. We the fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We the fans. But yeah. You think we can move to hit song?
Yeah.
Because we only really name 4 parameters for a good song.
Right, and I'm gonna be honest, to make a good song, it doesn't take that much.
It ain't the bills
if
and
you
listens.
do right, exactly. If you do those things we mentioned, you're more than likely going to always produce a good song.
Yeah, I agree.
Now it's going to be different for a hit. Because for a hit, you already now, man, and this is something I don't think artists and people think about. But when you talk about, okay, let's say this: the artist that's chasing the hit you've already had to give up some of your musical integrity. Because by that I mean you're not going to be, as you said, you're not going in 100 authentic yourself, because you're basing it off of something that someone has already did that you are trying to produce something to measure up to.
Yeah, you ain't lied. You ain't lied.
You know what I mean?
You ain't lied. If you once you go down the road of chasing the hit, that's just like people saying, "Yo, I need a girl song."
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I remember that. I gotta have a girl song. I gotta have a girl this song. Yeah.
How many times did you get the authentic what was on the person's heart when you heard somebody say, "I'm gonna make a girl song"?
Never. We never got it.
Never.
Never.
So it's the same thing with the hit. You know, if you go in there with the contrived notion of making one, you gonna probably make a dud. It might be something that people like. It might be something that they can sell to the masses. But if you're talking about having musical integrity, it ain't gonna be high. And I'm gonna tell you a quick story, bro.
Yeah.
You remember P. Batters?
I remember P. Batters.
P. Batters. I always had respect for P. Batters. You see what I'm saying? Like, as an MC, personally, as a person, because when I met him, he was a cool ass dude. You know what I mean? Cool dude.
Yeah, I never met him.
He came through the studio one day, yo, and he said he wanted a party joint.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I was, making beats, of course. You know what I'm saying? Me and him sitting there, and I'm like, shit. I'm supposed to make a beat on the spot, right? That's a party joint,
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what type of party you talking about going to. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? But that's my fault because I didn't ask the right questions. You see what I'm saying? I always regret the beat that I made that day. He didn't take it, and he shouldn't have took it because it was a knockoff. It was a piece of shit. You see what I'm saying? And he may have felt disrespected that I offered it to him. You see what I'm saying? But it's just what I made on the spot because I made what parties sound like at the time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? In that space and time, I made what parties sound like. You see what I'm saying? But because I don't go in the situation saying, yo, I'm about to make a party beat necessarily. You know what I mean? I make what I feel. So I think it was a bad situation all around. But I didn't put neither one of us in a situation where we could have made a good song that day.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I always regretted that because I went in with the intentions of making a hit.
And what was the outcome?
He walked out without taking that beat because it was some bullshit.
There you go. There you go. Listen up out there.
And all salute to P Batters too. I wish I had done better by you that day, bro. Cause I wish I had gave him some fire. You know what I mean? But he was like, make something. I'm like, shit, nigga. You know what I mean? You should have picked. It's fire in here, nigga. Pick something. But you know, it didn't go as planned. But my intentions shifted when I got asked the question. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my intentions shifted. If my intentions had stayed pure, we probably would have made some heat.
Right. Right.
You know,
and that's the point. So generally, when people are talking about making a hit, you already are dealing with a certain degree of compromising integrity and lessening authenticity.
Facts.
Because there's already a template out there that people usually want to chase
Facts.
to make the hit.
That's a fact.
All right. So let's talk about the tenets that make up a good a hit. I will say I only got two things, to be honest.
Talk to me.
Now, in this day and time, two things: the beat and the hook.
Ooh.
If the hook do what it's supposed to do against the landscape of the beat, then it's going. Because the hook, technically it's a chorus. It's called a chorus, but we call it a hook because it hooks you in. It draws you in. If it's repetitive enough, if people can digest it and repeat it enough, and it's catchy enough over the right beat, then it's a go. And we don't. And see, when you talk about the tenets of making a hit, we start losing the tenets of a good song, start falling off. So we don't care about your delivery as much or your lyrical ability and your concept. That matters less.
Way less. Way less. Yeah, way less. It doesn't really. You don't need those things for a good song. I mean, for a hit song.
Right.
You know.
What? Yeah.
It's beautiful if they're there, but you don't need them. You don't need them.
Now, I will say this. When I look at hit songs, even some of the hit songs of the mid to late 90s that I maybe did not like.
Yeah.
Right? It's funny because when I listen to some of the newer songs that are considered hits, right? More of the tenets were there in the older one. Like, I take for example, do you remember Mace single Puffy, Can't No One Hold Me Down? They in the desert in the Bentley. You know that song, right?
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of the hits that Mace did when he was on Bad Boy, right? He's rapping like hell in them joints. Like,
yeah, he's rapping.
He's rapping.
Yeah, he's
like
rapping.
People don't even do that. Like, people don't even take that much time when they making a hit to do. Like, ain't nobody doing all that damn rapping.
Nah, not for no hit.
Not for a hit.
Not for no hit.
We dialing that all the way back.
All the way. You know what's crazy though is we have to go. I have to go back. Maybe I can't dump everybody in this bucket. I didn't accept that Mace was rapping his damn face off at the time. Do you see what I'm saying? But that nigga was rapping his face off, yo.
He was.
That nigga was bobbing like hell. That nigga was rapping, dog. He was on his Pretty Boy shit, but that nigga was rapping.
Word.
You right. It was a lot more tenets in it, but it's because you couldn't come outside without being good.
Right. We should go into what makes example of hits.
Mm-hmm.
And in contrast, or not even contrast, but try to find some examples of hits that are also good songs, and then tie the conversation, together.
I think there's an example of a producer, Pharrell, obviously, that he can intentionally it sounds like he intentionally goes in the studio to make hits every time. You know what I mean? And one of those examples is what Give It To Me. Well, I Just Want to Love You, Jay-Z, right?
Yeah.
You know that's a party. That beat is a party as soon as it come on.
Right.
The ad-libs, I think that's another tenet that might add to the way you approach your ad-libs, maybe another tenet to add to a hit.
Yeah.
Because, for instance, something like, I know I'm jumping around, but something like Give It To Me, for instance, In the Club by 50 Cent, when the song starts, just with the ad-libs or the pre-chorus, they let you know there's a party going on. With Give It To Me, you hear the drums and the shakers, and Jay-Z say, "Ho!" Yeah, that's
Right.
And you know what's going on immediately.
Yeah, and when in the club, you hear go, shorty.
Exactly.
So you already know the vibe.
You know
right
the
there.
vibe. You know what it is.
Yeah.
So I think those things are. I think those people know when they got a hit on their hands. So the producer, the person that made that beat, draws that energy out of the person as soon as you hear it. Like, you know, that beat's gonna be a hit. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Or you gonna mess it up.
Yes.
So Pharrell is one of those people that's good at it. And I think the things that the energy and the vibe is there before the person says anything. I think that's one of the things that is really important.
I feel like hits are most times are like TV dinners. Like, it's already prepackaged. All you gotta do is warm it up. The MC just like, it's already there for you. All you gotta do is warm it up. You know what I mean? All you gotta do, the hook, and when you're dealing with a Pharrell or a Timbaland, they already have a hook generally built in for you. So that's already done. You just gotta basically fill in the blanks. The artist, you just fill in the blanks, but you gotta be good.
I think that's another tenet of a hit. I think you ran up on another hit, that a lot of times what you're dealing with is an artist. You're dealing with they get a template, so it's plug and play. The hook is already there. Sometimes the bridge is already there. Sometimes, you know what I mean. So all you got to do is fill in your 16s, and if you got a strong pre-chorus, you only filling in 12s.
Yeah.
You know, if that strong pre-chorus is written in there, you filling in 12s. So I think that's another tenet. Do you? Well, we'll go back to that same song though, because you said something. Being that you think a lot of them come that way. Something like "Give It To Me," right? Or "I Just Want to Love You." And I think I keep using that because it's got so many it's like so many of the variables that you need for a good song and a hit. But like, that didn't come. I don't know what part of it Pharrell came with, right? Cause the "Give Me That Phone," that's he got that from
one of the Young Guns wrote that hook.
Yeah, I thought he got it from Emilio Sparks. I thought that was Emilio Sparks' joint.
Right, Emilio Sparks. Yeah, that was his hook.
Yeah, that was Emilio Sparks' hook.
Yeah. He said, "Let me hold that down.
Let me get that from you, baby." Yeah. So, but that would make what you said true, right? Because Pharrell obviously wrote the other part. Now I just want to love you and be who I am. You know what I'm saying? With all this cash, you know what I'm saying? So
get your man.
So that template is there. He's like, okay, we need this other part in there. You need this other part in there. So that is established, that everything was there except for his verses.
Yep.
You know.
And I want to say this about a hit. Generally, you walk away from the hit with the chorus in mind. And not the verses.
Right.
So more emphasis is, like, when constructing the hit, there's a much greater emphasis laid and focused on the hook of the song than anything else.
Right. Yeah. That's but hits are hook driven. Period. Yeah. Hits are hook driven.
And it's inverted with the good song. A good song is verse driven.
Right. I
mean, you still need a good hook for a good song, but you're not trying to. But your goal isn't to get everybody to chant it. You know what I'm saying? That you're not writing it for that with that in mind.
A lot of times on a good song, a hook is built just to move you to the next point in the story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like it's part of the entire package that makes a song. It's not something that stands out to you that makes you, like you said, want to run out and chant it over and over and over again.
Right.
Now you do get times you get songs with you get the best of both worlds. You know, where you got a great song that ends up being a hit, or a hit that happens to be a good song.
Yeah.
You know.
And I would say that as an example of a hit song that was also a good song would be and this is honestly the only one I could think of from his catalog, but If I Rule the World. Like, I loved that song when I heard it before it ever came out and like kind of achieved commercial success.
Right.
And was kind of a big hit. I just thought it was a good song.
It was a good song. It was undeniable.
Right.
A lot of times a good hook, not good hook, but a good hit, you know, it's so undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got every part of it right. Like, and then with I Rule the World, for instance, they pay homage to classic hip hop, right? But they also used a song that had previously worked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you said, it came with the hook with a megastar on it. You know what I mean? So that's gonna go. You could have put anybody in Nas's place.
Absolutely.
That could rap at that period of time. Like, you ain't have to be able to rap that well though. You didn't have to go ahead and do what Nas did on that for it to be a hit.
Nah. As long as you did basically just decent.
Right.
That everything else was going to work. All the other dynamics was going to work for itself and make the hit what it was.
Right.
So.
Yep. So, I mean, we love the song, and I put it to you this way. I don't know the last time I sung that song and sung Nas's verses. The last time I sung If I Rule the World, I sung Lauren's part. Yeah. It was all Lauren, you know.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And I want to say another good example of that, because we're talking about how hits are made and how it's already, for the most part, prepackaged, and the artist comes and steps in and just fills in the blanks. A great example of that is an interview with 50 where he talked about the 6 singles off of Game first album. He wrote all of them. He was saying Game's an excellent. He said he's a good rapper.
Yeah.
You know, he said I wrote him and he knocked it out the park. He just said all you had to come and do is fill in the blanks. That's 2 things happening: ghostwriting and just filling in the blanks for hits. But this is how we do. You know, the other joint. I forgot the name, but it was multiple ones. Oh, Hate It or Love It.
Hate It or Love It. Yeah. I mean, what you said, this is how we do, right?
Yep.
This is how we do. Hate It or Love It. I'm not even gonna try to name it, but it was
right.
It didn't even no need, because there was so many of them. You know.
Yeah.
So, talk to me about some songs that you feel like are hit songs, but are good. And I think there's 2 categories, like we talked about.
Okay.
Ones that were intentional hits and ones that ended up being hits. So tell me about some intentional hits, songs that you feel like were intended to be a hit, but were still good songs.
Okay. Like, of course, one is the Nas, the If I Rule the World.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think they was just making good song. I don't think that was an intentional hit.
Which one?
Between them two, If I Rule the World.
Oh no, that was an intentional hit. That's Steve Stout and Trap Masters behind the scenes.
Well, then Steve Stout, Trap Masters, but they have multiple.
They was swinging. They was swinging for the fences.
Well, they swing that now. Yeah. I'm not saying that they wasn't like swinging for the fences. I'm just saying I don't know if they knew, like, or Nas. I'm putting it on like the artist part. But
Nas just showed up.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Nas just showed up.
Okay. So what is another one? And hits that were also good songs, though, right?
Yeah. intentional hits that were good songs.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we're not doing unintentionals. Okay.
Not yet. We
All
can, but yeah.
No. Okay. We'll say hmm. Wow. It's a hard category.
Yeah.
That's a hard category. Because you have to be good to do it. To do the hit, make an intentional hit, and to be a good song.
Yeah.
Like usually, good artists do that.
Yeah. I think In the Club was intentionally a hit.
Yeah.
And it's
In
a
the
great
Club,
song.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a
It's
great song. Is
perfect.
intentionally a hit. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know, like you said, that's tough, huh?
It's fun. Oddly enough, Lean Back.
I agree. I
Yep.
agree.
What's some other ones?
Damn, Lean Back. You got to. I wasn't expecting Lean Back.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Lean Back. Shit. I mean, we talked about the Jay-Z joint. Give It To Me.
Yeah.
Yo, fucking Hard Knock Life, bro.
Hard Knock Life.
Hard Knock
Yeah.
Life was meant to be a smash.
Yeah.
It was a risk, though. You know what I mean?
Big
like
risk.
Big risk.
Big risk. It was that was a big risk. It
Yeah.
was because I feel like they did not. This is the funny part. They wasn't sure
Yeah.
if that hook was gonna work.
That's my point. That's
They
my
didn't
point.
know.
That could have been. We could have trashed that hook.
We could have trashed that. Yeah, that's a fact.
They could have
So,
trashed that hook.
That was a roll of the dice on that one.
Right. And but you know it wasn't like to hear the story being told, right? On tour, that was the song that was being played in between sets
Mm-hmm.
by I think another DJ. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then Clark Kent went. Well, I think Clark Kent went home. Was like, yo, or Marley Marl went home. Is what happened, and was like, well, that should be something else, and did the whole joint. So
Right.
It's Martin the 45 King, not Marley Marl. It's 45 King is did that beat.
Okay.
And so the first time the DJ heard it, they were thinking hit.
Yeah.
This is out of here. If it works, because if it don't work, dog, if we don't accept it, and there's a high chance we don't accept Annie.
Right. But yeah, but it went. It did.
Oh, it went. Did it ever? It went. So Hard Knock Life, Give It To Me, In the Club,
Lean Back.
Lean Back. Yeah, Scott Storch was pretty good at it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But there's some people. What you notice though, the people that are really good at it, people come to them for the sound.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like Pharrell got stuck in the sound because people came to him for that.
Right, and right, absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he said that. He said that. He said, "Yeah, I got beats with samples in it and all types of stuff." He said, "But everybody come to me and say, give me a beat like the one you gave Jay-Z because they chasing the hit." Right?
Exactly.
That's what happened. And he said that's why you hear so much of the same sound that you identify, as Pharrell. He said, but I have other type of sound and beats, which is true. Which is when we talked about a good song, hit song. Remember, we first mentioned Jay. We mentioned that Give It To Me and
Allure.
Yeah. Allure, you would not necessarily. I mean, someone like you, I feel like, would know that that's Pharrell. But the average person that was familiar with Pharrell singles, singles, would not have just off the bat heard that and knew, like, oh yeah, that's Pharrell.
Right. If you just played the beat, they wouldn't know who they was listening to.
Right. You
know what's funny is I love it. This is a quick sidebar. I love that beat. But if you were to just play that beat, right, you might think an amateur made it.
Interesting.
Because that
That's an
shit
interesting
is
perspective.
all over the place. It's all over the place, bro. It's so incorrect. Like, it's so incorrect. But it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's incorrect in the
Yeah.
same way jazz is incorrect.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the chords are he just banging on the keys, bro. Bang, 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 bang. He just wilding, and the strings is going crazy.
He did the strings
and then he
going
got
crazy.
gunshots in the
Yeah.
background. Pow, pow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. So it's
Yeah.
chaos. It's beautiful, but
Yeah.
I could see how somebody, if you just hit play on it and you don't know whose beat it is, who's about to rap on it, I could see how somebody be like, yo, what in the fuck is this? But it comes together the way it's supposed to. It makes a great song.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Young Guns is similar to that. Like, them keys, it's all over the place, yo. Ain't nothing right about that. You know what I mean? For those, if you know on that one, but if you don't, you know.
Right.
But yeah, man.
Okay.
Perfect songs that were intentionally hits. Yeah. Any more that you can think of?
None coming to mind.
Gold
Okay,
Digger.
yeah.
Gold Digger.
I was trying to figure out which Kanye song. Absolutely Gold Digger. And then brought Jamie Foxx on. That was definitely set up in a staged intentional hit. Absolutely.
Intentional hit.
And I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Which is funny because we're going back to Trackmaster. See, Trackmaster is more legendary than we think, man. But Juicy.
I was going to say that earlier.
I think Juicy, absolutely.
I was going to say that earlier.
I think Puff was like, because it's the same formula.
Yep.
It's the same formula as If I Rule the World. We're going to use the old joint that was already out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it worked.
Yeah, it worked. I mean, I had a conversation literally yesterday about how perfect a song Juicy was. Somebody was trying to tell me it's not a good, they don't like it. They've never liked the song. But they don't like the original either. They don't like Juicy Fruit and they don't like Juicy.
Oh, okay.
So it makes sense.
Well, okay, it makes sense. That's what I was going to say. Now, yeah, okay.
But I was like, yo, it's perfect. Because Juicy Fruit is perfect.
It is.
And to me, the original is perfect.
Right.
You know? So, how was I digress. Yeah, that's another intentional perfect hit. Okay, something just popped into my head as a huge unintentional hit, and I feel like I gotta switch now because I
got a huge unintentional hit. Go ahead, go ahead.
I think I might know what your huge unintentional.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah, okay, but mine is. I'm not gonna start with the title of the song. I'm gonna start with the name of the artist.
Okay.
Akinyele.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's what I promise. He did not. They didn't have.
They didn't know that was gonna happen.
They didn't know that was gonna happen. There's no way you could have known.
They didn't know that was. They didn't know that you could play it today and turn out today.
Man, what? And people they're gonna go crazy in that drop.
It's still ring out in parties. People, it's still going.
Right.
Like parties. Kids are still learning it in colleges.
Yeah,
college DJs are still playing Akinyele, bro.
Yeah.
That's nuts. That he had no way. It's nuts.
Oh man.
No funny.
Double entendre.
Double entendre. But so unintentional hit though.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's the best. I think that's the best example of an unintentional hit because you can tell just based on context.
Right.
Because that you wasn't making that for heavy radio spins.
You wasn't making that for no radio spins, bro.
And the strip club at the time wasn't popping.
It wasn't even
so
a
you
thing.
wasn't making it for that, especially not in New York. So you wasn't making it for that.
Nope.
So that was just some
grimy New York.
Wilding.
I'm just wilding. Yeah,
I'm wilding. Yeah, it just works.
And it
just clicked
because it was so fucking pure.
Yeah,
he was intending to say exactly what he wanted to say on them records.
Straight to the point.
Put it
in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth. That nigga was wilding, bro.
And then the harmonizing of the hook.
Yeah. And she
had the element. And your mother. Man, hell, the ad libs, everything
I
was
mean, you
perfectly
motherfucker,
placed.
man.
Yeah,
yo. I
yeah, he
mean,
went.
he went for it, bro. He swung for the fences. But I mean, that's the funny thing is like, okay, that's almost in the era where you gotta try to have a hit where you know you're not gonna get no radio play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So okay, how do you have a hit knowing we're not gonna get no radio play? No way. I'm Akinele. They not gonna put enough money behind me for me to have a radio song. That's not gonna happen. So how do I make sure that every DJ in the world play my record with no radio play? I make an anthem.
Make a an anthem.
An
That
anthem.
song is never gonna die.
Ever.
Never.
Not long as kids got senses of humor.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to
His senses of humor
Yo.
and sexual appetites.
There you go. Imagine this, bro. Imagine this. That's gonna be like, I mean, I'm not putting him in the same category, bro, but I kind of am. Today, because that was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. You see what I'm saying? 25 years ago, right? Today, a kid stumbling on that record is like finding fucking Dolomite.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like me finding Dolomite when I was 10, 11, 12. That
Yeah.
shit's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna change your sense of humor. It's gonna change. You see what I'm saying? Like if you really listen with, bro, that record's gonna live forever.
Forever. And like it was like he know, like you were saying, that the record company wasn't putting money behind him to make no radio cut. So I'll just say what I want. And I'm going to say what other people want to say. I'm going to say it for them.
Yep.
That's why it's so funny, because
Yep.
people know this is what dudes is thinking.
Yes, sir.
Wanting and
Yes,
saying.
sir. And the
But
response
they
is
ain't
what
saying
girls
it.
is doing.
Right.
Yep. So you right. It's the authenticity that makes that record. And the shit was fire.
Yeah, and it was fire. And it had the dichotomy, the guy, girl on the
You're
hook.
right. It had perfect. The beat was fire.
Mm-hmm.
He was a dope rapper.
Yeah.
He had the voice, the delivery, the content, the story. You know what I mean? Yeah, everything was there. Everything was there. Oh man, what unintentional hit was you talking about?
All About the Benjamins.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't, and I'm just basing that just based off of recently hearing the producer say how I think he spent the sample backwards, kind of like he spent the sample backwards. And a few of them that's on it at first, they didn't even really like the beat. You know what I mean? Starting out. So it wasn't like he didn't make that in mind to make a huge hit anthem.
No.
But it became that
Nope.
after I would say Puff seeing the way it was coming together.
Puffy and Missy.
Yeah.
Puffy and Missy is the reason. They heard that and they realized that's what it was gonna be. That it could be a hit. But yeah, the beat maker, D-Dot, didn't know that was gonna be produced into a hit when he made it. I feel like he probably thought he was making some grimy shit.
He thought that's what he thought he was making, some grimy stuff. The lot's gonna spin on it.
Yeah.
He ain't think it was gonna be no hit anthem could still rock today.
But you know what's funny though? That's the beauty of Puff though, because I don't know if I heard that beat if I would have heard The Party. You see what I'm saying?
You're right. And no, I don't think, because I don't think you would have heard it. I know I wouldn't have heard it. I think Puff was in the mindset of Party and making hits. So
Right.
I felt like, and he was in that environment at the time,
Yeah.
heavy partying.
Yeah.
Like, so he I felt like his ears was tuned. He could hear a groove and know whether or not it could be tweaked to become a hit.
Fact.
So I think he heard it and was like, wait a minute, we can, and because originally he wasn't even going to be on it. Matter of fact, that was really a kind of a throwaway verse, but one of the lots wrote it. I forgot who wrote his verse. Jadakiss wrote his verse.
Yeah, Jadakiss didn't. It was just some
And he
shit.
didn't.
He wasn't
Right.
gonna use it like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, like you said, I think it was Missy and Puffy. I think that really helped the Missy being in that room, because she was the one that told Puff, if my memory's correct, she was the one that told Puff to put them on there. Like, this needs to be it. This is it. So I don't know, but
right.
I'd like to think I would have heard the party in that record if I'd have heard it without anybody on it, but I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I don't think we would have, because to be honest, when you listen to that beat, the drum, it's grimy.
Yeah, but
it's a grimy hit. I don't think
you.
I would have heard the groove. I wouldn't have.
I put it to you this way: I've danced around in the studio to a whole lot of beats that you wouldn't think I was in there dancing to. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you
that's
a
what I'm
producer.
saying.
You may have heard it.
Beats that I've made. I've been in there dancing, and I know most niggas be like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, this ain't something." But it is though, But I don't know if I would have heard it in that one. You know what I mean? It's just you can't never tell. You can't, Monday morning quarterback, you know what I'm saying, the situation, you can't think, I would have been able to hear that too. I don't know, right, bro. That's a gem.
Right. And it's funny because, again, to our tenet about making a hit, the hook. Yeah. The hook makes that. Like, if I'll even go so far, and this may be a stretch, but I'll go so far to say, if the hook wasn't what the hook was, it wouldn't have been a hit. Like, we repeat the hook more. Like, when people immediately bring up the Benjamins, they immediately think about the mode of the beat and that hook. Mm-hmm. Nobody even think about the verses, because you think about the verses, it's actually some street. Every verse is like street from the Locks, like that. Yeah, what they saying, they ain't saying nothing party. But the hook and the beat is party.
Exactly, and the video is party. It's energy. It's the energy. Yep. Now the only parts of you do remember though, one thing he is good at on his hits is the beginning of the record. You remember like the first two lines. What you want to do? Want to be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers. But you don't need to know nothing else, because by then you partying so hard.
Right, it don't matter.
It don't matter. You partying so hard, it don't matter.
Well, you want to know what? I didn't even think about it at the time, but if we really thought about it, I mean, we knew at the time Puff wasn't writing his stuff, but that wasn't a secret, and he didn't care that you knew, because he said it. No matter if I write rhymes or write checks. But think about that. The line, that even his verse is so damn grimy. Yeah. Like when you left off, want to be ballers, shot callers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers. He said on the low from the Jake and the Taurus.
Yeah.
That's some Kiss shit.
Yeah. Straight
that's a Kiss song.
Straight Kiss. Yeah, you right. You right. Yeah, that's wild. That's wild. He wasn't even taking verses that made sense for him, but he was pulling them off though. We was letting it ride, Yeah. But that unintentional hits, shook ones.
Oh, it's so funny. That's what I was going to say, but I
thought
that
was going to be the first one you said.
I held back. I was like, but shook ones. And we know, and it's funny because, again, with the beat, and this goes back into our tenets, we just so on point, but how we talk about the hook or like the beat being like very important. Yeah. So important to the point where Half said they was downstairs, they went upstairs, and they was like, yo, what you been playing, what you made since we gone?
Yeah.
I mean, Prodigy, pardon me, went upstairs, and I forgot who else was with him, like, yo, and he played Shook One's beat. He said, but I'm about to delete this shit. They were like, whoa, no, don't delete that.
Word. Yeah.
So we know that was an unintentional hit.
Completely unintentional.
Completely.
Yeah, because he was about to delete this
almost
shit.
got lost.
Yeah.
Imagine not having Shook Ones in hip hop history, man. Imagine that. Crazy.
Yeah,
that's a definition of unintentional.
Yeah, that's truly unintentional. For it to go as far as it went, and he was about to hit delete on that joint. I bet you if they came upstairs 10 to 15 minutes later, it'd have been a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Perfect.
Oh, man. Like, 10 to 15 minutes was the difference from us knowing Mobb Deep or not. Because without Shook Ones, we don't. Without Shook Ones, we don't receive that album the same way.
Right. Everything Shook One. This is one of those type songs that you heard that song and you was looking for that same type of feeling
There you go.
in the album, and you got it.
There you go.
If it was no, if we didn't get Shook Ones, I mean, we would might not even been that interested in
That's-
seeing what the
exactly.
album's about, because previously before that, what they was doing, we weren't concerned with.
At all.
That Shook Ones changed everything,
That's right.
everything,
Yep.
and it like kind of colored our vision for what to see next of Mobb Deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's absolutely true. So,
Yeah.
unintentional hits. Oh man. I don't know. Good things that just rang off that you just that people just did not expect to go.
Oh, I can tell you. Okay, it's funny. I didn't think we can go this long without you mentioning it.
Okay.
But METHOD, man, that was not intentional at all.
Mm.
And to be honest, that or Bring the Pain, and I'm only saying that because we've seen documentaries. We know
Yeah.
how RZA worked, and we know how Method
Yeah.
worked. And at the time, they just doing shit that they like.
Yeah.
And Method Man is the one with the most, I would say, personality. Well, no, because Ghost got personality, but like
Yeah.
he's the more playful one.
Yeah.
So he'll flip he'll flip all the little nursery rhymes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just having fun with it.
He just doing
And
what he
being
do.
himself, Method
Yeah.
Man is mad
He's
to the way I do my style.
he's a star.
Like you said. Right. He's a star.
He's a star. Yeah.
And that yeah, man. And Method Man joint.
Okay, so that draws a good question then. Method Man, I agree. Bring the Pain, I think I agree also. So, was there a point? Can you see a point where RZA and Wu-Tang started intentionally trying to make hits?
Man, honestly, I feel like because they don't have a bunch of crazy hits like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff that became hits, it was just them doing them authentically.
Street shit.
Street
hits.
stuff, and it was
Yeah.
just so big and so
Cream.
dope. Right. Cream.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, today, yo, we gonna imagine and be like, yo, today, yo, we gonna make a hit, and RZA be like, this is the beat right here. This is gonna be a hit. This is gonna go like
That don't even make
just
sense.
based on the concept. It don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But even what they talking about.
Right. Cash rules
You know what I'm
everything
saying?
around me. Ice Cream, I could see them thinking this might go.
Ice Cream may be the closest one. I would say maybe.
Right, maybe. But if they
Maybe
thought it was
Ice Cream.
if they thought it was a hit, nigga, it wouldn't be number 16 on the album. Or wherever it is. That's at the end
Right,
of the
that's
whole
true.
album,
That's
bro.
true. That's true.
They didn't think that was no hit. They did it because
Yeah.
it was fun.
And that's the thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Right. And I feel the same way with Method with the METHOD.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
agreeing.
Fun.
Like
Right.
I don't know that it's a point where they gravel pit.
Oh yeah, but see now, I'm so damn glad we on this. Now we can talk. Now we can teach some lessons.
Okay.
Don't chase a hit. The worst song Wu-Tang ever made was Gravel Pit. That's the worst song they ever made.
You right,
Like,
though.
and it's the worst video they ever
Yeah,
made.
that shit's trash.
But you look at it, they went away from the recipe that had been winning and
Yeah.
making them hit so long. They already got Brooklyn Zoo under your belt.
Yeah.
You got all these other songs, Bring the Pain, all these other great Wu songs that just authentically doing you
Yeah.
became hits, even
Right.
though it was some street grimy stuff. Now you try to make what you think is a hit and have some singing on it and all that, and the shit don't go. And the people that was rocking with you not rocking with it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that. When you talk about hits, ain't nobody, a Wu fan or non-Wu fan, ain't nobody gonna mention Gravel Pit ever.
So that's true. That's funny. Nobody's going. Not a Wu fan. They're
Not a
not
Wu
gonna mention
fan.
Grant. But they were so popular at the time that it still went.
Right.
You know what I
But
mean?
we know that wasn't a good song. That was a horrible song. So even if we say it was a hit, it was an example of a hit that's not good.
Culturally, that was the end of Wu.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, because
Like-
that was on the W. Most people like kind of ain't even messing with the W and nothing after that.
That's the only record I know on the W.
See, right,
Which let me, because that was, if this is what the W is about, I ain't with it.
right.
You know what I mean? I'm
exactly.
off it. I'm off it. Like, I don't need this no more. They gave me enough legendary music where y'all can stop. If this is where y'all hit it, y'all ain't got to do this no more.
Yeah, you don't got it.
You ain't gotta do it. You ain't gotta do this no more, yo. But yeah, so you right. That's the difference. Don't chase the hit, cause when you do, you gonna get gravel pitted.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna use from now on. You chasing the hit, you gonna get gravel pitted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the end of your career. That's the worst thing ever. Everything was bad about that. The beat,
Yep.
the concept,
Yep.
the hook,
Yep.
everything.
Everything. Everything. The
Nothing
beat,
was-
concept, hook, video. There was nothing good about that song.
There was nothing good about it, and it led to nothing good for them
Nah, it didn't. I don't. Yeah, like
in terms of us embracing the project that is on.
it didn't.
People
Really
don't
do
even
anything
know.
good with them. Like it was it. That was it.
That was it. That was basically it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was basically it.
We haven't cared about anything, a Wu album since
Right.
then.
Since then. Yep. But oh man, any other unintentional joints? That was, I mean, anything Wu-Tang that became a hit is unintentional.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because we know that they went in the studio with the intentions to making heat, not to making hits.
Yeah. Now, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Because the heat is making good songs. If you got a good song, that's some heat.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Wow. So other unintentional.
I'm just running artists through my head to see if I can.
Right,
you know what I'm
because
saying?
most of it's you know why this is kind of tricky, because most of the artists are trying to intentionally make. There's very few, so we're going to come across a very few Mobb Deep Wu scenarios.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You know who became good at making hits, but I feel like made unintentional hits early in their career? Outkast.
Okay.
Outkast, I feel like stumbled on hits early because they were making good music. They kept making good, and they were so good at making music. Once they decided to make hits,
it too was good.
It too was good. You see what I mean?
Right.
They didn't have to. They didn't have to. I put it to you this way: if you're gonna go in the lab with the intentions of making a hit, we said before that it was gonna be derivative, right? To some extent. It's all about who you derive from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if I dig in my bag and I'm deriving from Stevie, or I'm deriving from Ike Turner, like Dre did on the Love Below with Hey Ya. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all the way you getting your inspiration from. Like, if you're doing something and it speaks to what Mez was saying, if you're not being a bowl of fruit, but you being a puree, then you can derive from things. You can draw from things. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to and be good and be great and make good music. You know?
That's a great example. And I feel like, I'm glad you brought that up, because I feel like to those that are making music and the artists out now, that's how it should be done. Just focus first on making good music. And then when you do, and two things that happen. Well, one thing that happened, you may just have a hit without intentionally making a hit, but just by making good music, something may end up a hit. But if you focus first on making good music, when you do to make a conscious decision that I'm gonna intentionally make a hit, 9 out of 10 times it's probably gonna be a good hit. It'll be a good hit.
It's gonna be it'll be a good song and a hit.
Right.
Yep. Because
Outkast is.
Yep.
I agree with you. They are great at that.
Yeah. Because they train
Hit
themselves
songs
to
that
make
are good.
good songs over and over. So when we pivot to making a hit, we're not then gonna start making bad songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're gonna make good songs.
Right.
You know, they just gonna be
that's good.
They just gonna be open to a larger demographic, while still catering to the demographic that always loved us.
And those are the best hits, man. And we should. That's what we gotta talk about. Those are the best hits. Like, even with unintentional or intentional, but dealing specifically with intentional hits, right? Is if the person had been making good music all along, and then they do the hit. Those hit songs are so good.
Yeah.
Like, it's a hit song, but it's also a good song. But it's so good. It's just be a timeless. It's not like a hit that you're gonna get tired. That you're not gonna really want to hear.
right
anymore.
It doesn't become
Like,
something that they typically run in the ground.
right. And so like Outkast, like when you mention Outkast, I'm just thinking about their stuff, and it's like I love them those hits that they made, the songs they made that are hits.
Mm-hmm.
They just so when you listen to the song, they're just great songs though.
Right.
You know you love them.
Miss Parker is a great song.
What? That's what I'm saying. It's just
Miss
dope.
Jackson. I'm saying Miss Parker.
Miss Jackson, yeah. He on Friday time.
On Friday time. Think about that too. But but nah, yeah, Miss Jackson though, that's just a good song.
Everything now, okay. Miss Jackson is the opposite of Gravel Pit. Everything with Miss Jackson was done right.
Yeah.
Everything.
You right.
The beat, the hook, cadence, delivery,
Yeah. Content.
tempo, content,
Yeah.
video, everything was done right.
Yeah. That was perfect. Yeah. It was perfect. You right. You right.
And that's one of those perfect songs that's one of those perfect songs that is different from Pharrell Happy. You don't get tired of you'll get tired of Happy. You don't get tired of Miss Jackson.
Right, I agree. But I think it's in the bucket with Pharrell's Happy to me.
Oh, but it is.
And not in the bucket with Gravel Pit for this reason to me. And I think you might agree. I have no earthly idea what the fuck Gravel Pit is about. or could be about.
I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? But Happy, I know what that's about. And that's about a real life thing. You see what I'm saying? Miss Jackson is about a real life thing that not almost everybody, but you see a lot of people deal with it. A lot of people. And if you don't deal with it, you know somebody that has. I guarantee you. You see what I'm saying?
Super relatable.
It's real life. The narrative, the content is what makes sense. It's real. Yeah. Anybody could have sung Miss Jackson. Anybody could have sung about Miss Jackson. I put it to you that way. Not everybody could have done the song because they're artists and they great. But anybody could have sung about it. Me, you, my mom. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter. You know, so I think that's one of those things that makes the narrative you choose and the narrative you choose dictate the stories that you're trying to tell. Not that Wu-Tang chose a bad narrative, but once they got money, what story was they gonna tell? There's a grimy crew from Staten Island and Brooklyn. Once we get some bread, what are we gonna talk about?
Well, you continue to do what you did, just in a different way. And I mean, that's what Ghost and Ray did. That's why they continue to put out good music.
Right.
Like now, Wu-Tang is a collective, but Ghost Ray and Meth was still able to keep their story updated or do the same type of music, but do it on a higher level that is still street, but it's more like it's more
street knowledge than it is street.
It's more street knowledge than street. Yeah, it's not. We not still living in the gutter, and you can tell by how dirty our vocals and drums sound on this.
Yeah, I totally get it. And I agree with what you're saying. I just mean like as a crew, it's a whole bunch of people to feed. We need hit records. How do you create a hit record with 9 people without that same grimy energy that you had before?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like me personally, I can keep my same grimy energy if I'm Raekwon or if I'm Ghost or if I'm, you see what I'm saying, Method. I got all the charisma in the world. But for you, God, Master Killer, Inspector Deck, who are great rappers, only one of them niggas is a great rapper. But you see what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm gonna put them in the lore. You see who are on a great squad of rappers, but without that squad doing what that squad does, they don't eat. So you need the hit. But how do you translate this into a hit?
Right. That's a task.
Especially when you that's when you find yourself making Gravel Pit. I'm telling you.
Yeah, listen. but somebody should have at least said, just call it Gravel Chamber. It's still been bad, but at least Chamber connect with what you've been doing. Like, what is you talking about? Like, nothing makes sense. Pit,
Yo,
like,
I know this is a
I
crazy
mean, at least
sidebar.
Gravel Chamber could have been explained away. They could have tried to tie it in. You know, like in the 36 Chamber something. You know what I'm saying?
I just for shits and giggles, okay? What could they have done on the next album to make it okay?
To make what, that song okay? Oh, nothing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Cause see, oddly enough, the W have like 4 flaming songs up there. That's some flaming great Wu stuff.
Right.
Like it actually on that album. Like that's the worst song up there. I mean, they got other stuff up there that's not good. But I'm just saying, so they could still be done dope stuff. The next album should have been. Oh, I'll say this: they had a song on that, the W, which Gravel Pit is on, but they had a crazy banger with Nas, and then they had 3 or 4 other like flaming classic good Wu songs. What they could have done is did that. That over.
Just kept doing that. Kept replicating that style of music.
Yeah.
Yeah, and package the album that way. You know, I know this is a crazy sidebar, but I think they probably could have, if they were intentionally trying to make a hit, right? They should have found another movie, right? And ran that movie through like they did The Killer.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And give the album a structural theme, because we already, because we was good with the directions that they was taking us. We accepted the Wu Killer Bees era. You see what I'm saying? We accepted the Wu Gambinos era. You see what I'm saying? Which and that sparked the Wu Gambinos era.
Right.
So all we had to do is find something else. They could have took us back to the essence and been more karate influenced or something, but they needed something to make the theme cohesive.
Got you. I agree with that.
You know what I mean? And I think we would have kept buying into the lore.
We would have. I definitely agree with you on that.
But I felt like they lost the lore. They stopped building lore is what they did. It feels like.
I think you honestly, you on it today. You on it. Like I think that's what happened.
Appreciate it.
I promise you. And I'm saying that as a Wu head.
Right.
I think that's what I feel like. What you explain is how I feel.
It's like, I mean, because at a point they just stopped. Either we stopped giving a fuck or they stopped building it. One of the two. Yeah,
they stopped. Well, if you build it, they'll come. They stopped building.
They stopped building it
because the people was ready. You know what I'm saying, for it.
Yep, they stopped building the lore. It's funny that I'm saying the one thing that I rejected in the beginning is the thing that
it saved them in the end.
That could have saved them.
Yeah. That's the irony.
That's the irony for real, you know. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
I agree with that too.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Oh man. But bro, I don't know, man. How much you think we got left for this one? What you thinking? You got more we need to you need to say on this one?
Nah, I think we tied it up. I think we tied up all the loose ends on this, man.
A hit song and a good song.
Yeah, it's a lot of Jews in this. I ain't gonna front. I know it sounds arrogant, like when you're talking about your own podcast in the middle of recording it, like, but it was a lot of good points and a lot of good examples regarding hits, a hit song that's good, and then just dealing with the hit versus making a hit versus making a good song. There's a lot in this, man.
I think so too. I mean, I discovered things just in our conversation. When we do,
that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
that's the best conversations.
Yep.
That as you're discussing it, like just new things are unfolding.
Yeah, epiphanies. Like things you might not have even thought of in years just happen to pop. Or you might say something that make me think about something, or say something that I hadn't heard yet. That's the point of these conversations, bro. That's the point of any conversation, dog. Right? You know what I mean? If you go get in an in-depth conversation with somebody, you want them to say something to you that's gonna spark a new thought.
Right.
You know?
Right. And that's the purpose to conversate for a few hip hop podcasts, to invoke and stimulate intelligent discussion and thinking around hip hop and music in general. That's what we do.
Talk to them. That's what we talk about. All right, and I'm not even gonna say no more after that. What I am gonna do is on this one, I'm gonna tell you to stay tuned for the limited edition Futane merch. It's in a window right below me. It's like literally right there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's links in the bio where you can get to, you know what I'm saying, all our stuff. We appreciate y'all sticking in there with us for these 3 years, you know what I'm saying? And we on the next part of this journey, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the next part of this journey. We're going to ask y'all, like I said, stay tuned for the limited edition Futane Clan merch. Follow us on all platforms. I'm gonna say it backwards because I know I messed it up. Follow us on all platforms. I don't care if it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, YouTube, IGTV, wherever you're gonna find us. We might even pop
Anchor.
up even Anchor. Facts. We might even pop up on your Facebook on video. Just make sure you follow us everywhere and follow us at Conversate for a Few. At Conversate for a Few on Facebook and Instagram. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everywhere that you did follow us, rate the show, give us 5 stars, 5 mics, 5 bars, whatever you like, long as they ours. I think that's it, bro.
All right.
Well, I'm Jonna.
I'm Alan. This is not a podcast about classical music.
Absolutely was not. This is a podcast about hip hop. Make room for the tag.
Conversate for a few.
Hustle, welcome, man, they had to send me. Hustle from Raleigh, live from NC with your hosts, John and Alan. Relate to the two, you are now listening to Conversate for a Few. Check it on SoundCloud, debate with your crew. They talking hip hop from the late to the new. From July till June end, no Fridays for me, tune in. Please listen to this podcast. 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 Please listen to this podcast.